Welcome back to another lesson in Greek. I believe this is lesson 12 or 13. So let's finish up the pronouns. I have a lot of miscellaneous pronouns I'm going to throw at you as well. They're in the same chart forms that I've been using. Just memorize the charts. It'll help you Greek a lot. What else? Of course, vocabulary. We got unit 21 and 22 of vocabulary. We're getting close to the end of a semester's worth of Greek vocabulary, so congratulations. You're doing really well. If you've memorized all those words, that's awesome. Eventually I'm going to put a video separate that just contains all the vocabulary we've done so far. So that way you can just review the vocabulary if you want to. Anyways, I've got a lot of work to do. I'm going to get back at work and hopefully upload this video tonight. I love you all. Be good to each other. Talk to you soon. Okay, let's get started with a little bit of review. Do you remember this chart we went over on the types of pronouns? Well, we've talked about personal pronouns. That stands for a person. We've talked about demonstrative pronouns, which points to an object near or far. This or these, that or those. We talked about relative pronouns a little bit. We'll talk more about them today. As well as reciprocal pronouns, which is an interchange between two people or things, as in they love one another. We will also talk about reflexive pronouns. Direct the object or the verb back to the subject, such as she hid herself behind the door. We will finish up with a bunch of pronouns I call miscellaneous pronouns, such as interrogative. Okay, let's dive right into reflexive pronouns. Here's some rules. Number 1, reflexive pronouns specify an action the subject makes on itself. Number 2, reflexive pronouns are only found in the genitive, dative, and accusative cases. Number 3, reflexive pronouns are translated as myself or yourself. And how about a couple rules for reciprocal pronouns? Allelon. You've had that as a vocabulary word for a couple weeks now. That means one another. And it specifies interaction between members of a group. Okay, let's move on to reflexive pronouns, the charts, and we're going to deal with the first person masculine. Ematu, emato, ematon, ematon, ematois, emotaus. And let's go on to the reflexive pronouns, first person feminine. Emautes, emaute, emautain, emauton, emautes, emotaus. Now we're going to move on to the second person, starting with the masculine forms. Seatu, seauto, seauton, heauton, heautois, heautos. And now the forms for second person feminine. Seautes, seaute, seautain, heauton, heautes, heautas. Okay, let's move right into third person now, starting with the masculine forms. Heautu, heauto, heauton, heauton, heautois, heautus. And finally, third person feminine forms. Heautes, heaute, heauton, heauton, heautes, heautas. Alright, let's finish up with what I call the miscellaneous pronouns. I'll give you a chart for each of them and some information on them and their definition. Some of these words you've already had in your vocabulary units. Some of them are going to be new. Toiuas, toiate, toiaton. It is defined as such or of such kind. It is considered an adjectival pronoun. Then you have tis and ti, which is basically who or what. They are considered interrogative pronouns, and they're usually combined with the number 1 and the negative particles ude and mede, usually combined with the indicative mood. Next we have udes, uthes, udemia, and uden, which means no one or nothing. Utilizes the third declension endings. Next we have medes, medemia, meden, and methen, which means no one, usually with moods other than the indicative. Next we have emos, which is my or mine, Sauce or say, which is your, yours. And allelon, of one another. Usually used in the genitive, it represents an interchange of action between plural subject members. Next we have reflexive pronouns, which we've already talked about, and that includes he autu, and it means of himself, of herself, of itself. Remember that it's always used in the genitive case because genitive case depicts possession. Next we have reflexive pronouns, autu, which means of myself. It's in the genitive case, but does not appear in the nominative case. It indicates action of the subject upon itself. Next is relative pronouns, has, which we've seen before. It means who. Next we have relative pronouns definitive, such as he, which means which, and ha, which means what. And the indefinite relative pronoun, such as hostis, which means whoever. Okay, let's keep going with the indefinite relative pronouns. We have tis, which means someone. It is declined like the interrogative. And ti, which means something. Okay, let's finish up with our vocabulary. Lesson 21. Agapetos, beloved. Hemarchalos, sinner. Kero, I rejoice. Duran, gift or offering. Elpis, hope, expectation. Entole, commandment. Glasso, tongue or language. Kainos, new. Oligos, few or little. Capto, means fruit. Caphele, means head. Lithos, stone. Mikros, small or little. Duron, gift or offering. Monos, alone or only. Parabole, parable. Pistos, faithful, believing. Poneros, evil, bad. Presbyteros, elder. Sunago, I gather together or invite.